You left me. You left me. You left. Hey lovelies, welcome back to a new video. In today's video, you guys, we're gonna be talking about manipulators. How to spot a manipulator, how to know if you're being manipulated, and I'm even gonna tell you, if you are a manipulator, how you can stop being one, because you really need to stop doing that, okay? So I'm not even gonna spend too much time on this intro. I kind of broke this video up into different sections. We're gonna go ahead and get into it, so let's go. Okay guys, so the first section of this video, I'm gonna be telling you guys some characteristics of manipulators and what they do, so that maybe you can spot this in your life if it exists in your life. So many of you guys messaged me and said you don't even know how to tell if you're being manipulated or not, so we're gonna help you today, right now. So the first thing that manipulators don't do is they do not respect your boundaries, okay? And this is super important to spot, because it's kind of one of the first signs that manipulation is either occurring or that it's about to occur. Your boundaries, such as you don't want to talk all the time, you don't want to hang out with them all the time, you don't want to do certain things because of certain reasons, they cannot stand that. And the reason why they can't stand it is because it limits the control that they have over you. I'll give you guys some real life examples so that it'll be easy for you to really apply it to your life. Let's say, for example, you say, I don't want to hang out after 10 p.m. because I like to be in bed at a certain time because I have to wake up early the next day. A manipulator will not respect this. They will keep pushing for you to try and hang out after 10 p.m. And if you don't, they will be angry. They will be so upset. They will start treating you funny. They will start acting different and get an attitude with you to try and guilt trip you into breaking the boundary that they refuse to respect, okay? That is dangerous. If anyone cannot respect the boundaries that you place in your life, especially if it's for reasons that help improve your life, they can't respect that, they are trying to manipulate you and they are not good for you, okay? Which this leads me to the second thing that manipulators do. They love to guilt trip you. They love to guilt trip you. They will make you feel bad for not doing something that they want you to do when you're not doing what they want you to do because this was best for you. They flip the script so many different angles that they will come from on a slide too. It will be very victimizing, which is another point I'm going to talk about later, about the way that they guilt trip you. So, example. We're going to use the same example. If you don't want to hang out after 10 p.m. because you know you have to wake up early, manipulators will be like, well, you're my friend. You know how I feel when people decline me. You know how that makes me feel. You know I've been rejected in the past. Why would you not hang out with me? They make you feel bad. They use their past. They use whatever they can to try and emotionally manipulate you to get you to do what they're trying to get you to do. Do not fall for this, okay? If you're dealing with someone who really has struggled in the past and they're trying to manipulate you with it, you as a person in their lives need to direct them to a place where they can heal and get help. You are not their healing. You are not their help. So they have no business trying to make you feel bad about something that they've been through in the past. If they do that, they are manipulating you. It's nobody's responsibility to take on the burdens of what happened to you in the past. And so if they keep playing that card, they are manipulating you, okay? Of course, you can be there for a friend or a significant other or whoever this person is in your life, but there are boundaries that you set, and they should not make you feel bad for that by bringing up what they have been through and guilt tripping you into going against what you know you don't want to do, okay? The third thing that manipulators always do, you guys, always, they never take the blame for anything. Absolutely nothing. So what they will do is they will either try to place the blame on you. So real life example, let's say they went out after the 10 o'clock p.m. anyways. So they decided to go out anyways because you stood your ground and you said no. They go out anyways and then something happens to them while they're out. A manipulator will be like, well, you know what? This happened to me because you were supposed to be there with me. This happened to me because I wasn't supposed to be alone. If you were there, maybe this wouldn't have happened, okay? It's never their fault. It's not their fault that they went out at night by themselves and something happened to them. It's your fault because you didn't come with them. That's the angle manipulators will take or they will try to place the blame on someone else. One of the key things with manipulation is they will use other people to manipulate you. So they will implant things in your head about other people just so that they don't have to take responsibility for what they did. Again, using the same example, they're out by themselves late after dark, okay? Let's just add a twist on there. Let's say they snuck out of their parents' house and they're hanging out late. They will tell you, you know what? My parents literally don't care about me. They don't pay any attention to me. They didn't even notice I was gone. Now, they literally have deflected this whole story. The reason why you got in trouble, the reason why that bad thing happened to you that night was because you probably shouldn't have been out after hours by yourself anyways. So that's the point. But they have completely flipped the script when talking to you to say, well, my parents don't care about me. They don't love me. They don't notice me. They pay no attention to me. So that's why I left. I left and they didn't even know. They didn't even care. Boo-hoo, poor me. And now by the end of this story, here you are feeling like they have such terrible parents. How could they do that? You've completely forgotten about the fact that they are the ones that made the decision to leave the house by themselves, okay? If people do this, if people can never take responsibility, if people can never not only apologize, because an apology really is nothing if you don't work towards changing the behavior, or if you don't acknowledge the fact that you have a behavior to change. So if they just say sorry but they continue to do the same things, then you know that the sorry is empty and that it means nothing, and that most likely they are trying to manipulate you or manipulate a situation or manipulate someone else. So this is another thing that they do. They love to justify their behavior. They love to justify their behavior, any type of behavior, even if that behavior hurts other people. They will say, well, I'm only like this because of what happened to me. I'm like this because I have past trauma. I'm like this because they did this to me and they did that to me. It's always something to justify that very, very toxic and hurtful behavior that they have. There's someone in your life that continuously and repeatedly hurts people because of their toxic behavior, and all they try to do is justify it instead of taking responsibility to heal and change so that they don't hurt anyone else. They are manipulators, okay? They are manipulators. I'm gonna get into why they do this later on in the video when I talk about how you can stop manipulating, but the bottom line is that there is not a justification for wrong behavior, okay? Even if something happened to you or someone else in the past that causes them to be the way that they are, I completely understand, and it's okay to have sympathy for that, but you cannot use that as a reason for you to hurt someone else. There is no reason for you to hurt anybody else, okay? It's just not. Hurt people do hurt people, but hurt people also have to heal. So at some point you have to take responsibility and you have to heal from those things that happened to you in the past, and you can't keep manipulating off of your trauma to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. One of the biggest things, you guys, that manipulators do that we all know, they lie. They lie. But the thing with manipulators is they don't just lie. They are very, very smart the way that they lie. Manipulators tell half of the truth, okay? This is how they lie. They add a little bit of what really did happen in there, and then they make up the rest. Or they only tell you a little bit of what happened and then they leave out the rest. This is because they also love to alter your reality. They want to make you question what really is the truth. Because if they add a little bit of truth in there, it makes you second guess, like, maybe that is what happened. Maybe it's not what I thought it was. They love to do this. Perfect example of this, you guys, if you guys have not read the story of Jesus being tempted by the devil in the wilderness, definitely go and read that, because it is a great explanation of how manipulation works and how you should avoid it, okay? In the wilderness, the devil literally used the word of God against Jesus to try and get him to do things that he was not supposed to do. When he was fasting, he tried to use scripture to get him to eat. He tried to use scripture to get him to kill himself. Now, the way that Jesus clapped back was saying, well, yeah, I know you're saying this, but I also know the word says that. So he knew the whole truth. He knew the whole picture, whereas the devil was just trying to use bits and pieces of the truth to try and get him to believe him, to try and get him to fall to that manipulation. This is what people in your life will do if they are manipulating you. They will only tell you half of the story. And you have to know when that is going on. You have to be smart enough and open-minded enough, and you have to have a mind of your own to know that when someone tells you a story, you cannot act on it. You cannot fall into this zone of just believing everything that they say without investigating it for yourself. You are smart. You are just as important of a person in this situation. Find out for yourself. And if you don't know, then just mind your business and don't let them manipulate you and your character and your actions and what you're going to do next based off of something that they told you, okay? That's not what we're doing. We're not doing that in 2021, okay? We're not doing that. We're not doing it. So one of the last things that I want to tell you guys that you can spot in a manipulator is they know your weaknesses and they will play off of those weaknesses. If you have ever confided in someone about something that you've gone through, things that you struggle with, they will use that weakness to always try and keep you underneath their control. Let's say, for example, you confide in someone about something that happened to you in the past. Let's just say you had a really bad friend breakup. That friend hurt you severely deep to your core. A manipulator will always play off of that. They'll tell you, well, I know how it feels because I had someone who hurt me like that too. I don't want you to get better. I don't want you to develop a mind of your own. I don't want you to get stronger because then I can't control you. So I need to keep playing off of that weakness of yours, that brokenness of yours, that insecurity of yours that you've shared with me. I'm going to keep bringing it up. I'm going to keep highlighting that and emphasizing that in every way that I can. Let me tell you guys something. This happens a lot in friendships. It happens in relationships too, but it happens a lot in friendships. A lot of the people that we are friends with, sometimes we think that, oh my gosh, we have so much in common and like this is why they're my closest friend, when really your friends can be your biggest hindrance, okay? If someone that you are friends with only highlights your pain, only highlights your weakness, only highlights your insecurity, and never feeds into you to lift you up in any way, encourage you to heal, highlight the good qualities about you, highlight the good things about your life, make you hopeful for your future instead of constantly reminding you of your past, they are probably manipulating you. They probably don't even know that they are, but they are. Because the weaker you feel, the easier it is for you to be manipulated. The easier it is for them to control you. Manipulation is all about control. They want the control. They want to control the situation. They want to control your life. They want to control everything. They're like puppet masters. They just want to pull the strings in everything. And the way that they do that is to keep you weak. If you are strong, they can't do that. One more thing to pay attention to with signs of a manipulator. Pay attention to how they treat people who do have their own mind. Pay attention to how they react to people who disagree with them, who call them out on things, who are strong enough and bold enough to say, you know what, no, I don't want to do that. Or you know what, no, we shouldn't think like this. Or no, I shouldn't feel this way. Or I'm not going to do that. If they become very annoyed, very angry, have a lot of built up animosity against people who don't always agree with them, most likely they are victims of being a manipulator because they don't like that. They don't like when people can stand up. What they will try to do to you if they are manipulating you is plant things in your head about people that are strong enough to turn away from them, to turn against them, to be like, no, that's wrong, or no, this is right, or you shouldn't do that, or blah, 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 blah. They will say things like, oh, you know, they always think that they know something, or I don't understand why they're trying to pick on us. They know our pain. They know what we've been through, using those weaknesses, trying to reel you back in, okay? Do not fall for that, you guys, okay? If you know that someone has a rightful and righteous argument against someone, and then that someone tries to make you think what you just heard and you knew was right and you knew was a new point of view, they try to make you believe that it wasn't, they're manipulating you, okay? And most of the time, you guys, we know when it's happening, but we are not strong enough to acknowledge the signs and do something about it. And before you know it, it will become a way of life. And that's how you get caught in abusive relationships, abusive friendships, because you're so used to being manipulated that now you don't even know your reality anymore. All you know is that manipulation tactic, and that's how they keep you underneath it. That's why it's not easy to just walk away from abuse, because you're so used to being in it. It's become a way of life. Don't let it get to that point, you guys. Like, if there's someone in your life that checks off 1, 2 even is the furthest I will go of this list, you need to get away from them. You need to check that, and you need to regain control over your own mind and over your own life. Okay, so some ways that you can avoid manipulation is, one of the first ways is to not always apologize right away. Because like I told you guys, manipulators love to victimize themselves. You know what happened to me. You know that I'm hurt. You know that this, and that. You know I struggle with that. Do not apologize right away, because when you apologize, you fall short. You fall underneath that control that they are trying to use against you, right? So don't apologize right away. Instead, offer something that is counterfeit to what they're saying they struggle with. So, you know that I've been through things in the past and that's why I'm like this. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up, say, I'm sorry that you went through that, but here's some ways that I think you can get some more help. Stand firm on what it is that you said that made them try to victimize themselves. So if you called them out on a behavior and they say, well, you know why I do this, you know that I've been through this, or I've been blah, 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 blah. Instead of saying, you know, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have said that. No, you should have said that. But say, I'm sorry you went through that. Here's some ways that I think you can help. Here's some ways that I think you can heal, okay? Do not apologize to them because you didn't do anything wrong. You can apologize for what happened, but don't let them make you feel like you're the reason why it happened, because you're not. So you can stand strong, stand your ground, offer some other ways to support them that does not compromise you having control over your own mind and your own thoughts. The second thing is to stand firm on those boundaries that they disrespect. They are gonna try. They are gonna come at you strong with the guilt. You're going to feel it even without them saying anything, because you know how they are. You know how they are. So when you take a stand, be firm about it. The example that I use, if you don't want to go out after 10 o'clock, do not go out after 10 o'clock. Doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter what they do. Doesn't matter who they try to turn against you. Stand firm in who you are. Because I promise you, you guys, your character will always speak louder. The truth will always speak louder than a lie. So whatever they are trying to do will not work as long as you stand true to who you are. Do not compromise yourself. Don't lower your tolerance. Don't raise your tolerance. Don't do anything that requires you to change yourself just because someone's trying to manipulate you, or they want you to change, or because they think you're not good enough, or because they want you to mimic what they want you to do. No, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what God's telling me to do. I'm going to do what I feel led to do. And I'm not going to do what I don't want to do. I'm not going to do what I don't feel led to do. It is what it is. This is my life. And you shouldn't be attached to someone who cannot respect the boundaries that you need to set on your life for your own personal growth and your own personal reasons. If they got a problem with that, then you could bounce. Period. So one of the last ways and the main ways that I think you can limit manipulation is when you spot the quality in someone, start to distance yourself. I know sometimes we are manipulated by people we can't distance ourselves from, but mentally just put that block up in your mind. Label it as what it is. Don't try and say, well, maybe they're not manipulating me. Maybe they're not. If you're listening to this video and you thought of someone, they're manipulating you, okay? That is what it is. Label it what it is, and then mentally distance yourself from that person. You know that when you're making certain decisions, when you're doing certain things, you already know how they're probably going to operate. So distance yourself mentally from them. Distance yourself from them. If you can completely cut them off, because they're not ready to be in any form of relationship with you if they are trying to manipulate you. All they are going to do is hurt you. They are not going to add to your life in any way. They're only going to take it away, and they're going to keep you stagnant. They're going to keep you stagnant. You're never going to grow because you're always going to have to be underneath their control. And they are not going to want you to ever be better than they are. And let me tell you guys something. If you are someone that is manipulating as a way of life, you are really at a low point in your life, okay? I'm not trying to knock at you, but you are at the lowest point of your life if all you are doing is manipulating other people. So if they are already at the lowest point of their lives and they don't want you to become stronger or raise above them, guess how low you have to be if you won't cut them out of your life, if you won't stop and limit their access to your life and your growth, where you're going to stay in your life. Gotta chop. And if you can get away from a manipulator, run. Okay? Now, for this last part of this video, I'm gonna help you guys out if you are a manipulator, okay? If you've been listening to this video and you feel convicted because you know I was calling you out, I'm gonna help you because you should not be doing that. And let me tell y'all something, manipulation is the devil's like #1 tactic. That is who he is, that's what he does. So if you are being used by him to manipulate other people, you need to stop. You need to stop. Stop being a puppet for the devil. That's not cool. It's really not cool. It looks very bad on you, and you are so much more than that. So I want to help you so that you can become a better version of yourself, okay? So let's get into it. #1, when somebody calls you out, you need to listen to them. Stop deflecting. Stop blaming your past. Stop blaming other people. If someone calls you out, take accountability, okay? Take accountability and then apologize. Say, you know what? You're right. I should not have done that. It doesn't matter why you did it. It doesn't matter who you think hurt you. It doesn't matter who you're going to try to shift the blame to because you are so used, your mind is programmed to doing this. It's going to seem like it's the right thing to do, but I'm telling you right now that it's not. So if someone calls you out on something that you did wrong, take accountability for it. Do not jump to the next person or the next reason down the line as to who you think needs to take blame or responsibility for what happened. You are the reason why it went wrong. You are what happened. Take accountability, apologize, and then learn from it so you can do better next time. #2, stop lying. Stop lying. You are never going to be free from manipulation if you keep lying. Ever. Because guess what? Guess what a liar has to do? They got to keep lying so that you can cover the first lie that you just told. What did I tell y'all in the beginning of this video? That's what manipulators have to do. You lie smart. You tell half of the truth. You add a little bit of truth in there and then mix it up with all the rest of your lies, or mix it up with the rest of the truth that's left on the side somewhere. You don't put all the ingredients into the cake when you're baking it. Stop lying. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, shame the devil, even if the devil is using you. Tell the truth, shame yourself. Tell the truth, shame yourself. Shame yourself. Feel that. Feel that shame because what you did was wrong. What you did wasn't right. You could have been a lot smarter about it. We all make mistakes. It's okay. All you gotta do is tell the truth. Tell the truth. I did that. I did that. I hurt them. I said that. I stole that. Whatever you did when you was doing what you was doing, tell the truth about it. Stop lying. Stop lying. And stop taking advantage of people that you know don't know the full story. Stop telling them half of the truth. If you're going to tell your story, if you're going to talk about what happened, talk about all of what happened. Not just the bits and pieces that make you look good or the bits and pieces that make someone else look bad. Tell the full truth, all of the truth, nothing but the truth, and the truth will set you free. I promise it will set you free. You cannot manipulate people if you tell the truth. It's not possible. You can only manipulate people if you lie. So stop lying because it's not cute. Cut it out. #3, own your insecurities, own your weaknesses, own your past traumas, and then do something about it. I know that there are so many things that have happened in life to people and it has been unfair. It's been heartbreaking. It has been life altering, and I know that there may not have ever been anyone there for you to help you work through that, but I am here today to let you know that I serve a God that can deliver you from any and everything. Okay, it doesn't matter how terrible it was. You don't have to live like that. You don't have to live carrying that weight and then using that weight as an excuse to manipulate and hurt people. Hurt people. Continue to hurt people. And if you don't want to hurt people the way that you were hurt, you gotta stop being a hurt person. You have to heal. Even if the trauma wasn't your fault, healing is your responsibility. Not because you are taking responsibility for the pain that they caused you. You're taking responsibility for not causing someone else pain. You're taking responsibility for moving forward with your life, for having hope in your future, for leaving your past behind you. That is every single person on this earth responsibility, no matter what happened to any of us. And I am not being insensitive to your situations. I know personally, you guys, how many things have happened to people, how horrible it has been. But I want you to get healed. I want you to get delivered, not only so you can stop manipulating people, but so that you can grow yourself, so that you can be happy, so you can wake up in the morning and not have the weight of the world on your shoulders for something that wasn't even your fault. That's not fair. Be more fair to yourself. You owe yourself more than that. You are worth more than that. You don't need to walk around carrying the past of what happened to you, things that weren't even your fault. That's not fair. That's not for you to carry around. I promise you, God will take care of your burdens, and you don't have to try and take care of it yourself, because you're not doing a really good job, okay? You're not doing a really good job. You can't do it. And the best thing about it is you don't have to do it, okay? So own your insecurities, own your flaws, own that trauma, own that past that hurt you, your weaknesses, and then do something about it. Because if you don't, you will become a victim of being used by the devil to manipulate people. And that is just not something that you want for yourself or anybody else. Last tip of advice I have for you: if you are someone who is a manipulator, come clean. I know that I told you guys to take accountability. I told you guys to tell the truth, but then you gotta come clean, because there are some people that you have manipulated, and there are some people that you have lied on. You have damaged their character. You have done so many things just to try and maintain your control of manipulation. Come clean. Not only for them, but for you. If you're holding on to the pain and the damage you know you've caused others from your behavior, it's really, really hard to move past that. You have to forgive yourself. Come clean. Forgive yourself for what you know that you did. Because you can forgive a lot of people, but sometimes it's really, really hard to forgive your own self. But I'm here to tell you, it's okay. It's okay. You did what you did. You're sorry, you repented. Now come clean with yourself. Tell yourself, you know what, you did all of this. And forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, free yourself. That is the last step to freeing yourself, is forgiving yourself, okay? So that is it for this video, lovelies. I hope that you guys enjoyed. This was definitely a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a minute. So I hope that it helped all of you in whatever stage you felt in this video, whether you were being manipulated or you didn't know if you were being manipulated or you were the one doing the manipulating. I hope that this video has been helpful to all of you, every single person that watched. As always, I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. Follow me on my socials, DM me, because I always respond to you guys and I love talking to you guys, and I love, love, love reading your DMs. Like, you guys just don't understand how much y'all make my day. With all that being said, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah!